I live in Temora, and when COVID shutdown started, my husband Derek and I were brainstorming what to do with church, since he's the pastor. And a lot of the thoughts during that time was how to keep encouraging and looking after our church family, but also how to put the best light on the gospel in our interactions to the public and those we relate to. Being a small town, we ended up writing to the newspaper. We sent in services to be broadcast on the local radio on top of the online services we were sharing. We wanted to make the most of the opportunity and shining that light, especially to those who may not have even heard about Jesus before. Now, I could go on about that kind of public ministry since it's important, but I thought I'd be a bit honest and maybe for my own sake, talk about a bit of the things that people don't see that often. These last few months, looking after 3 kids under 4, being mostly at home, it's been tough sometimes. We've had some great family time, done different activities and managed things as they come. But other times, I've really had my patience tested, whether it's because of other people, my own reactions, the circumstance, or no one's fault. One time, everything seemed to be falling apart, not just in the news, but in the home, and I was trying to work out why. And I looked at the clutter. There was noise everywhere with music or kids, and even just flies in my personal space. And I realized I felt there was no peace, not on the eyes or in my ears or around me. My heart was crying out for peace. And I remembered that Jesus said in John 16:33, "I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." It's comforting to know that Jesus really is in control and knows what we go through. It's ironic that normally I'm out and about and I really miss the social aspect of our usual activities, but this time it's led me to look a bit more into myself and to think about some of the ways I tick, whether I'm trying to clutch at things that I thought I could control, or wondering why others aren't doing things my way, or ignoring people and driving them away for selfish reasons. I've also been reading through Proverbs with Tim Keller in this devotional, The Way of Wisdom, going through particularly the topics of anger and pride, so they've been issues on my mind. It might be that the busyness of life is an unhelpful distraction. We put on a public hat when we step out of the house, but I think God's used the tensions during this time to refine me, even if it is pointing a spotlight on areas that need attention and it's hard work and often unwanted. It doesn't make me glad to admit that I have faults and I sin, but 1 John 1 says, "If we claim to be without sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just, and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness. If we claim we have not sinned, we make him out to be a liar, and his word has no place in our lives. My dear children, I write this to you so that you will not sin. But if anyone does sin, we have one who speaks to the Father in our defense, Jesus Christ, the righteous one. He is the atoning sacrifice for our sins, and not only for ours, but also for the sins of the whole world." Now, this passage also ties together that Jesus died for my sins, but also the sins of the whole world, including those around us that we want to get the gospel to. I hope this has been as much an encouragement for you as it has been for me reflecting on what's happened the past few months. I don't think back in March I was thinking, this is what God's going to teach me in the next little while. But little by little, he is chipping away at us to make us more like Christ. And that is something to be glad of.